Here's how we can improve the battery life on Samsung Galaxy A37. First of all, we're gonna go to settings. Over here in settings, we're gonna begin with the battery settings, and in here we should be able to find, for example, the daily usage with example apps that use the most battery. We can of course go to previous days in order to see which apps use the most battery, and if you choose any of these apps, then you should be able to enable background usage limits, which should allow you to save the battery quite a bit if you often use these apps that you have in here. Besides that, we can find the power saving option, which is of course quite useful to quickly extend the battery life. This is of course temporary, and it's not really recommended to use this feature all the time. We shouldn't really have this option enabled all the time. But of course, if you are in a situation where you need to keep the battery alive for as long as possible, then of course we should be able to enable it, and then until you can start charging again your phone, you can of course keep it enabled all the time. Also, we can go to settings for example, the standard battery saver in order to find out what is done when that option is enabled. And if you need even more time, then you can switch from standard to maximum battery saver. And in here we have limited accessibility, or limited access actually, to specific apps which you can actually choose. So you can choose your essential apps that should be accessible during the maximum battery saver. And of course you can, as I said, you can use it in situations where you cannot really charge your phone at a given moment, but you don't want to run out of the battery. Besides that, you can also tap on these three dots in the upper right corner. And then in here we have the adaptive power saving option, which allows the phone to learn how you use your phone. And then based on that information, if the phone collects enough information, then it might enable a battery saver for you. And of course, turn it off when it's no longer needed. So this might be, of course, quite useful for some people. Be sure to check that out. Now, besides that, we have the battery protection, which is of course a great feature that allows you to keep the battery in a healthy state for as long as possible if you use it correctly. And it is recommended to use at least the basic battery protection, simply because it's really convenient to do so. At least it's convenient for the battery itself. Of course, batteries experience the aging process, so after some time the battery capacity will drop. So your phone will not be able to charge the battery to the same level as it was in the past. At the beginning, for example, once you got your phone, I'm sure you experienced that at one point with your phones. And here it is not different. It's just the nature of batteries. But these protection options allow you to keep those batteries in a healthy state and to keep their capacity at the highest level possible for as long as possible. So a basic option allows you to charge the battery to 100%, but if you charge to 100% and the power adapter is still connected to the phone, then the battery is not going to be charged. And if you drop to 95% and the power adapter is still connected, then the phone is going to charge back again to 100%. There is also the sleep time protection, which we can use with the basic battery protection. And this option allows you to allows the phone to stop charging at 80%. It is intended to, of course, use it at night when you charge your phone at night. So if you do so, this option is for you. And then once you are about to wake up and unplug the power adapter, then the phone in advance can start charging from 80% to 100%, so you get the full battery. Of course, if you enable it for the first time, the phone might need a couple of days before it figures out when you charge your phone, how often you charge your phone, for how long you charge your phone, and when you unplug the charger, and so on and so forth. So of course, once that information is somewhat collected, once the phone establishes all this kind of information, then you might see proper results. And besides that, you can just simply use the maximum battery protection, which is just a hard limit. I mean, you cannot really exceed the percentage that you set up in here. By default, we use 80%. So if you set it to 80%, if you charge your phone, you can only charge to 80% and not more. You can also set it to 85, 90, and 95%. And you might be wondering why some of these options mention the 80% so often, or they use 80% battery so often. And turns out that this is simply the most optimal percentage for the battery when we are talking about charging. This allows you to slow down that battery aging process if you don't really charge it all the time, all the way to 100%. So if you keep it to 80%, for example, then in theory, you should be able to keep your battery in a healthy state for a longer time. And you might be wondering, well, if I can charge to 80%, then what is the percentage at which I should start charging? And here the answer is not so clear as in the case of when you should end, but approximately it is around 20%. This seems to be the answer for, in most cases. Some sources claim it's like 15%, some sources say that it is like 20%, 25%, and in some cases even 30%, but I think 20% is like the best spot. This is just my personal opinion in that case, but I feel like 20% is that perfect time when you want to start charging a phone. But what is most important is that you don't really want to completely run out of the battery. You don't really want to let your phone to drop all the way to 0%. Because this seems to have the negative effect on the battery. I mean, it is the most damaging result. Of course, these results or these effects of, for example, dropping the battery to 0% or overcharging, they will not be really visible at first. You will definitely not notice it so quickly. But of course, after some time, if you keep doing that over and over and over again, then eventually you will notice that your battery doesn't last as long as it was at the beginning of the usage of the phone, once you got it for the first time. Alright, then we can go to charging settings, and then in here we should be able to find fast charging option. And some people believe that fast charging also causes the battery to drain quicker or to age quicker. So if you believe that, you can of course turn this option off. Whether you believe it or not, it's not really my concern. I don't really care about it, but if you do, of course you can turn it off. Alright, so now that we mentioned battery settings, there are a couple of additional settings that are definitely worth checking out. For example, in location, we should be able to find location services, and in here we have these two options, Wi-Fi scanning and Bluetooth scanning. These options do not have to be enabled all the time, and they can actually save you a little bit of battery. It's not going to be like really huge amount of time, but definitely it is really helpful to keep these options disabled, because these features don't have to be enabled all the time, and whenever your phone or an app requires you to use one of these two features, or both of them of course, then you will be informed about it, and then you can temporarily enable these options, but then of course remember to turn them off back again when they are no longer needed. Also, of course, many display settings also have an impact on the battery and how long does the battery last. For example, it is better to use the dark mode over the light mode. Dark mode allows you to save the battery quite a bit. Of course, if you don't like the dark mode, you can, for example, use the dark mode settings, and over here you can create a schedule for the dark mode, so it can be automatically enabled and disabled at a given time. Although if you, of course, don't mind, then you should definitely use dark mode for as long as possible. Of course, screen brightness settings also have a huge impact on the battery. If you use maximum screen brightness all the time, then the battery is going to be drained quicker, and hence why I can recommend you using the adaptive brightness or automatic screen brightness, of course, because the screen brightness can be automatically adjusted based on the light of the environment that you are in. So of course, if you don't need to increase the brightness all the way to the maximum, then it's going to be decreased and adjusted to your potential need. Of course, we have motion smoothness, which also has an impact on the battery. And yes, I can probably tell that you prefer to use 120 Hz over 60 Hz, and that is my case as well. Personally, I would not give up on 120 Hz just to save the battery, simply because 120 Hz is really pleasing to use. It's a completely different visual experience, definitely a convenient way to use your phone. Maybe not convenient, but it's definitely pleasing. It just looks better, it has smooth animations and so on and so forth. However, since we are talking about improving the battery life, I have to mention this option as well. Besides that, we also have this screen timeout, which essentially keeps your phone or the display actually on for the specific amount of time. If you exceed that time, then the display is put to sleep automatically. And while in my case I use 2 minutes for the sake of YouTube videos, the best choice would be either 15 or 30 seconds. Usually that is enough to keep the screen on, And if you need more time, then of course you can always tap on the screen in order to refresh it, to refresh the timer. There is also this option, keep screen on while viewing, which of course extends the duration of the display being enabled. But of course, this has the negative effect on the battery. We're gonna use the battery more for that. So while it is a great feature, if you want to save the battery, I recommend turning this option off. And that seems to be pretty much it about in case of the battery settings, of course. Now, one additional thing that I have to mention, that there are some couple of additional settings, like for example, always on the display, or in notifications we have the lightning effect, which also have an impact on the battery, especially always on display, of course. While these are great features, they are going to use more battery. Also, if you have any apps that are just running in the background all the time, like for example, animated wallpapers, then of course they are going to drain the battery quite a bit. And even features like Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, mobile data, NFC, location, and so on and so forth, of course, they don't have to be enabled all the time. And if you actually, for example, disable Bluetooth whenever you don't have anything connected, then you can save a little bit of battery and you can extend the battery life a little bit. Of course, the difference between these options, whether they are enabled or not, if we look at them individually, they don't make that big of a difference, but collectively they will probably make a little bit of a difference. So that's why we can of course keep that in mind. So of course, for example, if you are outside of your home, if you don't have Wi-Fi network, you can turn off Wi-Fi, because why you need Wi-Fi enabled when you don't have Wi-Fi network that you can connect to? The same can be said about Bluetooth, of course, NFC, location, and so on and so forth. And of course, whenever you need those features, you can just turn them back on. That is not really a problem. It's not about completely restricting yourself from using these features, but just to limit these features when you don't need to use them. Alright, I think I mentioned pretty much everything that I wanted to mention in the case of improving battery life. If there is something that I missed that I didn't mention in this video that you think is really helpful to improve the battery life, then please let me know in the comments, me and of course others as well. And if you're watching this video, then of course you can check out the comments to see if there are more tips to improve the battery life. And that's it. Leave a like and subscribe.